So this one is my least favorite so far. All right, guys, so we're on bottle number 5 from this Michael Malul Discovery Set. This is going to be Sea plus Zephyr, or I'm just going to call it Sea Zephyr because I don't think the plus sign needs to be actually spoken. But this is obviously going to be a blue marine style fragrance based on everything in here. I'll go ahead and list out the notes for you real fast. I'll give you price point. 120, 130 bucks for a full size on this. Obviously this set was 30 bucks for these 10 ml bottles. Glass, pressurized, atomizer, all that fun stuff. So top notes of grapefruit, basil, apple, and this last one is probably the most unique I have because I don't have a single fragrance to my knowledge in my collection that actually makes use of this directly. Eucalyptus leaves, which I'm worried might end up making it smell like a cough drop, but it might be fine. Mid notes of neroli, lavender, sage, rosemary, jungle essence, trademark. I don't know what that means. I assume it means that Michael Malul has trademarked some compound there and they call it rosemary jungle essence. What you're gonna see from the little clip on the side won't be the exact same, but it'll incorporate most of the same things. Base notes of cedarwood, musk, orcanox, which I think is like a trademarked ambergris-like kind of derivative. Moss, patchouli, and the perfumer is Richard Herpin. So there you go. Waves crash against the rocks, leaving sea salt on your skin and your hair, and the sound of ocean brings a sense of calmness surrounding the wild plants. Their herbal aromas grounds you as the sun rises, filling you with hope for a new day. That's the description. So very fancy, very cool. As always, the way we do this is we do a paper test. I give you my basic impressions of the notes. I then do it on skin, see if there's any difference. Normally, it means that sometimes different opening notes come out more bitter, more sweet, depending on skin temperature, that kind of stuff, because it aerosolizes faster on skin because your skin's 98.6, where these are basically temperature of the room, which is right now about 70. So different kind of interpretation will happen. So let's go ahead and get the spray. And once I get the sprays done and my initial interpretation's finished, it'll blip in time and then I'll jump in after I've worn it for a day or so and give you the overall performance rundown, longevity, projection, as well as how those notes appear and which ones may not really appear or appear too much, that kind of stuff. I basically grade the fragrance for lack of a better term. There we go. Again, the fact that their travel sizes have pressurized atomizers is so nice. Like, it's just such a nice touch. All right. I can already smell it. Yep, very blue, very marine in nature. I have no real complaints, but I am a huge marine blue fragrance fan, especially marine. I love salt. If it smells like salt, I love it. This is not super salty though. I'll say that right off the bat. It's a very pleasant, the eucalyptus in particular adds a sweetness to on paper that I really like. I was worried it was gonna be like cough drop, and it's not like a cough drop at all. It ends up, the way the apple kind of wraps into it's very pleasant. So it's like it has the sweetness, but those aromatic notes in there are also there. So it doesn't, sometimes basil comes off as like, I smell kind of like pasta or like a pasta sauce. You don't want to do that. But this is much sweeter than I expected in the opening. And I wouldn't even say this is a marine fragrance. It's definitely a blue fragrance, but I would not say it's salty marine in nature. But it does kind of evoke that, like, just the aromatic. You get a little bit of that rosemary kind of popping through in there. And rosemary and salt to me go hand in hand, so one evokes the other. All right, let's do it on skin real fast, see if I notice anything different. I expect maybe a little bit sweeter on skin because that grapefruit note can sometimes come out much sweeter on skin than on paper. Let's let it flash for a second. Yeah, actually it's a little more bitter on skin. It's kind of a bitter citrus grapefruit as opposed to being a super sweet grapefruit. So not what I expected, but still very pleasant, very masculine. Again, nothing wrong with this at all, just based on these opening notes. If the eucalyptus kind of blends in with the apple, in my opinion. So the apple note comes out and it's not like a super syrupy apple. It's more like imagine someone just like, it's like a crisp kind of apple smell. A little sharper. That combined with the basil and the grapefruit kind of ends up giving like a sharp kind of freshness to it. But yeah, overall, I would say it's blue. It's a blue fragrance overall. I wouldn't call it necessarily a marine fragrance because I'm not getting a salt vibe that's super intense. But the eucalyptus, oddly enough, does not come off cough droppy. It just comes off as a little bit of extra freshness, almost more like a like a sweet mint, for lack of a better term. But yeah, let's see how this thing performs over time, and I'll be jumping right back in. It'll be a blip in time for you, it'll be a few days for me, and we'll see how it goes. So this one is my least favorite so far. Yeah. And it might not be the fragrance's fault, it might be my fault, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna be in the negative on this one, but I'll explain everything as it goes. It might make more sense. So this is obviously going to be Ocean plus Zephyr, or sorry, Sea plus Zephyr, excuse me. It's a blue fragrance. The most unique part about it is simply the fact that it has that eucalyptus note in the opening, all the apple. Those are the two things that make it kind of outside the blue typical thing going on there. It's not shower jelly. That's kind of nice. So if you don't want like a shower gel kind of fresh gym fragrance, it works. This works for that. My issue is I go very nose blind to this very quickly. I can kind of smell a little bit of that cedar musk on the base, but I can't smell much else. And that might be a personal issue just for me. I mean, I can smell the opening. I will not say that I can smell the middle notes all that strongly. Like the rosemary is just there. I'm not getting a lot of lavender. Normally lavender is kind of like a beastie kind of note. And I just didn't get that much from it. I would say that this has a modest longevity. I'd say this is almost a gym scent. Like throw it on there, you'll smell good for a couple hours, and then you don't gotta worry about it. But yeah, that's kind of my longevity view of it. Now, my wife said she could smell it on me 6 hours later. I could barely smell musk and or a little bit of cedar, but it's just barely there. So it's not the kind of fragrance that I personally like as the day goes on, even after the initial projection, that push goes away, where it's still there. So this one's probably my least favorite out of the entire batch so far. I only have one more left. I have Zest plus Vetiver. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much else to say about it. If others have different experience with it, please leave it in the comments. I won't delete them or anything. I might even pin them or highlight them. But yeah, for whatever reason, I go nose blind to Sea plus Zephyr from Michael Malul. Opening notes are awesome. I love the eucalyptus plus apple. That's excellent. I love that aromatic sweetness of that. That's awesome. I want to see more of that elsewhere. But for whatever reason, this just doesn't, I go nose blind, and it might be my fault. But yeah, that's it guys. Thanks for watching and have a great day.